All right, today we're going to talk about arithmetic sequences. Arithmetic sequence, that just means that it's the number, you know what a sequence is. Everyone knows what a sequence is. You've been finding those since kindergarten. Arithmetic means that you either add or subtract to get the next number. Okay, so you're going to add or subtract to get the next number. Now, the good news with arithmetic sequences, we're only going to deal with sequences that are consistent. So they have the same number every time that you're either adding by or subtracting by. So in this first part, these are our notes today. That's why it says notes on there. We're looking for what sequence is happening between 5 and 11, between 11 and 17, 17 and 23. And a lot of you are going, well, that's easy. You're adding 6. So yes, it's a plus 6, it's a plus 6. Every time, it's a consistent number. So is this an arithmetic sequence? Yes, because it's going up by the same number every single time, okay? Now, a sub 1, so that's the first number in the sequence. That's what it's meaning. That's a subscript, not an exponent. Don't get that confused. A sub 1 means that it's the first number in the sequence. What's your first term in this sequence? Well, the first term in this sequence is 5. Okay. Now we're looking for the 0 term. So we know the first term is 5, so we're talking about the term right before 5. So if I'm adding 6 this way, in order to get back, you have to do the opposite. So you have to subtract 6. So that would be a -1. That would be the 0 term. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for there. I'm looking for A1, A0. I'm looking for, is it a sequence, yes or no? And then it also says to find the common difference. Common difference is what number is that constantly going up by? Well, in this case, it was a positive 6. Okay, so we'll go over to another one. We'll look right at number 2. We won't do all of them for notes. So I'm looking from 3.3 to 6.7. Okay, if you cannot figure that out in your head, that's fine. You have a calculator, use it. Okay, so this one you're going down, okay? You're actually going down by a -6.6 every single time. Okay, so is it an arithmetic sequence? Yes. What are we going down by? -6.6, that's my common difference. Okay, still looking for A1, first number in the sequence. What is the first number in that sequence? That's that 13.3. Okay, still need A0 also. The 0 term, the one right before it. So if I'm subtracting 6.6 this way, I gotta add 6.6 back to that 13.3 to get the 19.9, okay? That's what I'm looking for there. Now, if we're moving down, we'll skip over to number 5. It says, find the first 4 terms in the sequence and the stated one, okay? So first 4 terms. So if I wanted to know what A sub 1 is, now a good way to start is just to write A1, okay? That means I'm gonna put in a 1 every time I see an N. So you see how this was A of N? Now we're doing A of 1. So I have 12 minus 7, and then I'm gonna put in parentheses because my N is 1. I'm gonna put the 1 in there. Well, order of operations says I need to multiply before I subtract. So I have 12 minus whatever 7 times 1 is. Well, that's 7. 12 minus 7, we should get 5 for my first term in that sequence. Okay. Now, could I do A sub 2? Sure could. Put A2 there. 12 minus 7 parenthesis, the 2. Multiply first. That's going to get me that 14. I'd have 12 minus 14, which is going to get me -2. Now, look back at your sequence. You can maybe even make this easier for yourself. Don't make it harder. How'd I get from 7 to -2? I went down by 7. Where else do you see a -7? Right here. It tells you what your common difference is. So after you get the first term, you can just say, oh, I know it's a -7, so I need to know. So then I can fill the rest in. Well, what's -2 minus another 7? -9. That minus another 7, -16. That'll get you your first 4 terms. Now, if you want to figure out A of 19, because that's what it's asking for right here, just go ahead and plug that 19 wherever you see an N. Don't make it harder on yourself. Use your calculator. 7 times 19, 133. So I have 12 minus 133. Again, you can use your calculator. That's a negative 121. Okay, so those are how we're doing those problems. Okay, I'll do another one with you. Okay, want to know the first term, A1. That'd be 19.1 minus 5.6 times 1. Well, 5.6 times 1 is still going to get you the 5.6. Okay, 19.1 minus 5.6 gives me 13.5. Now, if I didn't want to go through all the work of plugging it in every time, I look here. What's my common difference? I'm going down by negative 5.6 every time, so I'm going to subtract 5.6. So I'm going to take that 13.5 minus the 5.6. I'm going to get 7.9 minus that by 5.6, 2.3 minus that by 5.6, negative 3.3. Okay, now I have to find that A of 7. A of 7 equals, go ahead and plug it in wherever you see an N. So I have 19.1 minus 5.6 times 7. Okay, use your calculator. That's 19.1 minus 39.2, which gives me a negative 20.1. So here's my first 4. Here's my A7. You're good to go. Okay, when we're dealing with arithmetic sequences, the good news is the formula is something you already know. So formula is our favorite formula of all times, y equals mx plus b. Yay! We love y equals mx plus b. Okay, where m is the number that you're constantly going up by. So that's your common difference. Okay. And b, gotta make my arrow a little bit longer, is the starting point, which is the a of 0. Okay, the starting point. And that makes sense if you think about it on an xy axis. Okay, so that's why I was so diligent about you knowing what a of 0 was up here. All right, so it says given the first term and the common difference, find the first 4 terms. Well, they give you the first term. So what is the first term of this sequence? They say right here, A1 is 23. So you know that's 23. Your common difference is 6. Now this is a positive 6. So that means I need to add 6. I'm going up by 6 every single time. So 23 plus 6 is going to give me 29. 29 plus 6 is 35. 35 plus 6, 41. That's my first 4 terms. Okay? Found the first 4 terms. Done. Now, write the formula. So we're going to write a formula. Y equals, m is the number that I'm constantly going up by. What number did I go up every single time by? A positive 6. So I'm going to put a 6 in there for my m. So 6x plus, now b is where you start, starting point, which is a of 0, not a1, a0. So you do need to look here and you need to figure out what your 0 term is. Okay, so if I'm adding 6 this way, what am I going to do this way? Yep, subtract 6, so that's 17. Okay, so I have y equals 6x plus 17. That's how I get my formula. I'll do one more with you, and then I'll let you go. All right, so first term of the sequence, A1, right here, it tells me right away, 19.7. Awesome. It's saying my common difference is a positive 6.7, so that means I need to add 6.7. Now, if you looked real quick, on 11, it was a negative, so that means you subtract, okay? That's just the difference between the two. I'm adding 6.7 to 9.7. That gets me 26.4. Okay, and add another 6.7, 33.1. Add another 6.7, 39.8. Okay, there's my first 4 terms. Wonderful. Formula, y equals the number you constantly go up by. What did I constantly add to every single time? The common difference, which was 6.7. So I have 6.7x plus my starting point, which is a of 0. Not a1, A0, I have to figure this 0 term out. 0 term. Okay, if I'm adding 6.7 this way, got to subtract the 6.7. So 19.7 minus 16.7, that works out to a perfect 13. Okay, so y equals 6.7x plus 13. There's my formula. Okay, that should complete your notes. That'll help you finish your first homework assignment, which is the arithmetic sequences. Now, if these do not constantly go up by the same number, all you have to do is answer no right away and you are done. So good luck on your first homework assignment.